All right, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And for the Sagittarius that I'm speaking to today, I'm seeing that you're going through some type of change. And I think that this is a change for the better. I'm seeing that your energy may have kind of gone down towards something in the past, or it may have seemed on the surface like something was changing and sort of decreasing in its direction, like I don't know, maybe you were working on something, now you're working on it less. There's a sort of pause in your energy there, where you're still kind of moving towards whatever that is, but again, the energy that goes into it has shifted. I see that you kind of are coming to it from this higher level awareness that you're moving forward on your path, even if maybe it doesn't look like that to other people, or you're not following kind of the conventional flow that someone might with whatever this is. And as you kind of move forward on that path, that looks very connected to who you are as an individual and a very like personal sort of spiritual process. There could be this feeling of, I don't really know what's going to happen next. That could kind of cloud your vision a little bit. But we're going to take a look at these energies on a deeper level in a second. But before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings and I love to do them. You can email me down below in the description box for one. And if this reading resonates with you, please take a second to like and subscribe, as I'd love to see you here again. But let's take a look here at these energies. So, this change that you're going through, Sagittarius, it's kind of has to do with your connections with other people, your relationships. Possibly you realized that there were some blockages that needed to be removed when it came to your relationships. These could be external blockages or internal blockages, but I see you identifying them and kind of immediately saying, with a snap of your fingers, it's time to change something here. And there's a pretty dramatic shift in the energy because of that. And I do see that being somewhat self-motivated. You kind of saying, okay, I need to take the reins on how I'm navigating some things here and make a shift. Now, your oracle cards for today are Silence, Turning In, and Playfulness. So I see you taking a step back for sure in the energy. There's sort of this energy of silence around you as you take a moment to yourself. And it comes through very positively. I see you kind of, when you come back out of that energy, coming through in a very playful, happy, exploratory, curious way. So it's a very sort of healthy and balanced energy that sort of allows you to expand and create in this new way that's really beautiful. Now, let's take a look at this energy here. I see you literally going within with this energy, with the Hanged Man here. A lot of cards flying out, so definitely some messages from Spirit here today. You could be stopping for a second to consider your direction. Do I want to go this way? Do I want to go this way? Does this feel good or does this feel good? There's energies that are coming towards you, and I see you taking a second to really process them as well so that you can come to kind of the best decision. And the way that I see you doing that is by taking that step back, by kind of slowing down the energy. Let's see where you were here. You were moving pretty confidently towards something. You were working pretty hard on something, putting your efforts into something, and overall it felt good. This may have been something that involved those other people. This may have been where you felt that interruption and you said, hang on a second, there's a blockage that I have to attend to here. And then, that tower came in, that shift in the energy. But I see for a while it was going together kind of smoothly, and then something came in. And it's not even that it stopped you in your tracks, because I see you being very balanced about it and kind of just taking this in stride and saying, well, okay, something new has kind of presented itself. What do I want to do with that? And it comes through as a learning experience, as a growth experience, and I see you taking in and kind of just processing it and saying, okay, how do I want to handle this? I see you learning something about someone else and also learning about your heart and your heart space and the love that you kind of receive, the effort that goes in. There could be this feeling of there being like an imbalance in like one person putting in a lot of care, a lot of attention, a lot of effort, one person having a very open heart space, and then someone else offering a lot less, or just not being kind of on that same level. And there's this feeling of, it's not that they're a bad person or that these other energies that you're engaging with are bad per se, just that they literally have less to give, or they have less to offer, or maybe they're younger energies, they're more immature spiritually, emotionally. There's almost like an opposition of levels where one person is kind of older, one person's maybe more mature, one party's more mature, and then the other party just isn't there. And there was a struggle that kind of resulted in that. And so I see you kind of coming to terms with that and realizing, okay, I've been presented with new information. Maybe this isn't going to go the way that I thought it was, or maybe I shouldn't invest as much of my energy into it. Because I do see there being a lesson, and you kind of going within to incorporate that lesson. And it kind of is about balancing your own energy with other people's and realizing, maybe I have more to give than these other people. Maybe I'm around energies that aren't supporting me, that aren't giving to me, or that just aren't able to give whatever I can give. And it's funny that you have this playfulness here, because I see your heart very much being in the right place and you just really wanting to come to other energies and play with them and have this sort of curious, expansive, radiant, joyous sort of energy. But there may have been a period where it felt like the people that you were investing in, or the relationships, the energies that you were around, they weren't matching that, or you were coming together to open your heart, and there was sort of a dissonance there, a struggle. It wasn't matching up. Okay. Let's take a look at your energy here. Very spiritual energy with the High Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Chariot in the current energy. I see you really trying to take care of yourself, come from a healing place. Your spiritual self really comes to the fore here. You may feel very guided by the spiritual realm at this time. You may be receiving spiritual insights, and it's sort of pulls you onto your path if you ever start to feel disconnected, or if you start to feel like you're straying away from your path. I see you kind of snapping back into place in this really beautiful way that's like very centered. There was an ending here, and it's still in your energy, kind of in the current. And I see you having to, again, assert yourself, bring this ending into being, and it has to do with some type of commitment or a relationship that you were involved in, possibly for some of you a home structure, so maybe like a shared living situation or a community that you were in. But it came from your higher self, like I said, like your intuition was really guiding you here to put this situation to an end, to interrupt it, to say, whatever you had to say here. I see you really speaking your truth, and in so doing, kind of bringing that ending into being. And you're showing me it really is for, my best self, for everyone else's best interests. It comes from that sort of place of good intentions and, that higher self, fly on the wall perspective of seeing things from a larger view and kind of understanding, once you zoom out, what really needed to happen here. You're coming through as the Queen of Pentacles today, so very much focused on self-care, self-nurturing, and really healing. I see you kind of reviewing those energies that came towards you that couldn't really match, that caused some conflict there, and working through healing them and healing these different parts of your heart. Maybe that were offered things that didn't match up, that didn't make you feel good, and you're kind of going through like an inventory of your heart and starting to heal those things and look at them from that place of self-nurturing, self-care. So very good. Yeah. Let's look at the Chariot here. You are on your path. I see as you do that, you start to not only be honest with yourself, not only connect with your intuition, but connect with your heart as well, and start to heal on that deeper heart-centered level. And it really puts you on your path. It really kind of moves things forward because the energies are so aligned. It's funny because with the Nine of Swords coming out, I see you being somewhat anxious, possibly anxious that you're not moving in the right direction, or that you're going to miss, the love that's meant for you, or maybe you're not going to meet, the people who can match your energy, there's almost this anxiety, this fear of, well, is anyone else going to be able to show up for me the way I show up for other people? And I see you sort of recognizing on a conscious level, I gave a lot and I wanted other people to give just as much. And especially if you are a giver, from that perspective, it can really feel like, well, I am showing up in this way. Why can't others, And that type of thinking, I see it leading to some type of stress for you, because when you start to think that way, you also start to close yourself off from the love that's out there, from the love that's available to you. And I do see that it is coming in with the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, but it's something that you can't really see because you're sort of holding on to those past energies here. And the past energies here could have been deceptive, they could have been manipulative, they could have been malicious. People could have been coming from their shadow sides, people could have been coming from those painful places, and you're seeing the truth, you're putting an end to it, you're kind of interrupting those processes, and starting to see them for what they are. But as you do that, I see you kind of wondering, doubting yourself possibly. Why am I always having conflict with people? Or why did this conflict have to happen? Or is there more conflict coming? And it's a perspective that you kind of hold on to on a deep level that could kind of obscure you from seeing things clearly as you move forward here. There could be some holding on to of those deceptive energies. There could be a part of you that isn't very trusting as you move forward. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's pain there from the past, and it wants to be let go of, it wants to be released. There's a cycle there of, being mistreated or not having your love reciprocated or whatever it is that was painful. And whoever you kind of engaged in that with, and it may have been multiple people, multiple energies, was someone who was really important to you. But that cycle is closing out. You are closing it out, but the piece of it that requires for you to close it out is the piece of getting there emotionally, of sort of emotionally accepting what happened, emotionally understanding the pain, emotionally feeling through the pain, like feeling that sucked, that was really hard, and letting it kind of close out so that something new can come in. And this was so painful and it affected you so much that you might be holding on to it, or you might have a bit of a scarcity mindset, a lack mindset as you move forward, because if you haven't processed out all of that pain, it's going to kind of affect the way you see things moving forward, and you're going to hold on to it, possibly even without realizing it. Like, it could just kind of inform your general perspective without you even consciously saying, yes, I'm holding on to this pain. It's something that over time kind of wears you down, and again, keeps you from seeing kind of the truth in the situation, could keep you stuck in your head. There's going to be all types of cloudy energies when there's something trying to be cycled out that's not being cycled out. But I see you really holding on to this hope, this belief that other people are good, that other people have good things to offer. And that truth kind of illuminates the path forward for you, this hope in other people. And it's a very firm, strong belief of, you know what? I have to carry on. And not only am I going to carry on physically, but I'm going to carry on emotionally. I'm going to keep my heart open. There's a determination there that's really admirable, Sagittarius. So I really appreciate that energy for you. Let's take a look at the moon here in the near future for what you don't see coming. It's going to weigh you down, the things that you're holding on to, and you could even have this determination of everything's going to be great, everything's going to be fine. And in doing that, or in maintaining that perspective, you're not necessarily looking at the pain that's trying to make its way forward so that you can truly and honestly close the loop with that pain. There's something there that wants to be looked at that's so deep under the surface, and there's a reason you're not looking at it. It's because it's heavy, it's because it's difficult, it's because it's not necessarily easy. And the universe and spirit is kind of asking you to ask for more for yourself, to believe in more for yourself, and not from this place of denying the pain that you went through. It's sort of both. You have to hold both energies. You have to hold the pain that happened in the past, and you have to hold the possibility for something really good in the future, and they don't have to cancel each other out. Like, it's not like, oh, because everything was awful in the past, things can't be good in the future. And it's also not like, well, because things can be good in the future, I have to just ignore what happened. It's sort of about holding both so that you can close that loop and then open up another space for yourself, another cycle to enter into. Because I do see your energy blossoming out of you really beautifully through this healing process. Even if at times it may feel like you're not moving forward or it could feel really slow, there's something that's happening in that silence for you that comes through in a very healing, very positive way. So good. Let's get 3 cards of advice from the universe before we close out. The Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, the Two of Wands. There's love coming towards you, and I see you looking for it. I see you waiting for it. It's very much kind of around you, and that should be your focus as you move forward. What feels really good? What opens up your heart? What do you want to commit to? And there's something here about, as you move forward, committing to things, committing your energy, committing yourself to the things that open up your heart. And kind of as you do that, really feeling very right, feeling really correct, because you are aligned with your heart in that way. It feels good, it feels playful, and that kind of guides you forward from that higher self perspective. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates, and I'll see you next time.